All right. So in previous videos, I have talked about how Kobe Bryant possibly would be starting his 1,189th game ever in the NBA on Easter Sunday. And they were playing the Washington Wizards, which ties into Pope Francis's visit once again. That was the first place he went. Kobe Bryant, a Philadelphia native and whatnot. Interesting that the score actually the Wizards won with 101 points. The word Philadelphia, the big way, equals 101. But anyway, I want to show some of the coding that I had talked about before the game had started. I mean, there's a whole lot to it, but so, like I said, the Wizards played the Lakers on Easter Sunday. Also, the 76ers played the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors originally from Philadelphia. They're even connected to Pope Francis. Golden State equals 122 in Gematria, just like Pope Francis. Just like San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors play in the San Francisco Bay Area. Also, Golden State won the NBA Finals last year, 99 days before Pope Francis came to the United States. I want to point this out really quick. It was just a short post. But in the game against the Mavericks the other night, David Lee finally got his NBA championship ring, and it just so happened to be 9 months and 9 days after the NBA championship was won by the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors in Gematria even equals 99. Lots of other 99 stuff, especially in regards to Obama being assassinated. Also, June 26th can also be written as 26/6. Pope Francis is the 266th Pope. 9/23, the 266th day of the year. That was the same day that Obama sang Amazing Grace at Clementa Pinckney's funeral. 9 days after 9 people were shot. 9 months and 9 days after 6/26 is 4/4. Obama's the 44th president. The first president to die in office was the 9th president. He died on 4/4. If Obama dies in office, he will be the 9th president to do so. Also, 9 presidents after the last president to die in office, the 44th term president, JFK. But anyway, David Lee also got his championship ring 2 months and 22 days before the anniversary of winning the championship ring. If you write out 9 months, 9 days, it even equals 222. Remember, the Warriors picked up Anderson Varejao on 222. Lots of other stuff, though. Dallas Mavericks equals the same, like 51, Cleveland 51, LeBron James 51, Cleveland Cavs 51. Lots of 51 stuff. So whatever, I'm going to go back to the Kobe stuff. Just wanted to point that out really quick. So anyway, the reason that all of this is significant is because, Pope Francis went to Washington, D.C. He went to the White House on 9/23 at 9/23. He ended his trip in Philadelphia. Philadelphia comes from the Book of Revelation. Both of these games, though, were played in California, which, I don't know, just kind of stuck out to me. California, the small way equals 52. The 52nd prime is 122, just like Pope Francis, just like Golden State, and whatnot. And I've made tons of video posts on Kobe Bryant being connected to the Golden State Warriors through Philadelphia, but other ways as well. So he's originally from Philadelphia. He even tore his Achilles versus the Warriors. He scored 81 points in the game against the Raptors. The game was on January 22nd or 1/22. The Lakers even scored 122 points. The rest of the team scored 41. Kobe Bryant, the small way, equals 41. But Golden State equals 122. Pope Francis 122. He announced his retirement this year on the 333rd day of the year. The same year that Philadelphia turned 333 years old. It was also 33 days after Philadelphia turned 333. Philadelphia turned 333 on the first day of the NBA season. The Warriors were even chasing the 44-year-old 33-game win streak of the Los Angeles Lakers when Jerry West, who equals 44, and also wore number 44, was on the team. He's also the NBA logo. But what's interesting is that the Warriors lost their first game of the season this year after they had 24 wins, so they were 24-1 after their first loss. Kobe Bryant's number 24. I've talked about 24 in regards to the X theme and how it connects to, the racial stuff. Malcolm X's real name is Malcolm Little. Malcolm equals 24 in Gematria. X is the 24th letter. Little equals 24 in Gematria. The Super Bowl score was 24-10. 10 is X in Roman numerals, so it was XX. It was coded to the 85 Bears, who won Super Bowl 20, which was Super Bowl XX. You had Beyonce do the whole Michael Jackson outfit with the X on it. She even did the X with the Black Panther stuff. So interesting. Kobe Bryant, super connected to all of it by his number 24. Kobe Bryant retired this year, A week before that, Jeff Gordon in NASCAR retired. Jeff Gordon also number 24. The remake of the X-Files came back this year. The first episode was aired on the 24th day of the year, January 24th. Anyway, the main reason that I made this post was just because I had talked about Kobe Bryant playing his 1,189th, it's his start, I guess, not playing, but he started for the 1,189th time. He's also, going into that game, he had played 1,611 minutes this season. I mean, what are the odds of that? This is all in regards to the King James Bible that has 1,189 chapters. The King James Bible came out in the year 1611. So Kobe Bryant starts for the 1,189th time after playing 1,611 minutes this season. He had also taken 922 shots this year. So his first shot of the game was his 923rd shot of the year. It also just so happened to be a three-pointer that he made. I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy. What are the odds of that? Starting his 1,189th game after playing 1,611 minutes this year with 922 shots the day that Pope Francis arrived in the United States. He's even played 56 games up until that game. 56, a number super connected to multiple events this year. Paris, France equals 56. ISIS equals 56. Black Lives Matter equals 56. Climate change equals 56. A significant number throughout history as well. Abraham Lincoln died at the age of 56 in the year 65. In April, the only month that adds a 56, in Washington, D.C., that equals 56. So interesting, it's against the Wizards that play in Washington, D.C. Osama bin Laden, Adolf Hitler, Saddam Hussein all equal 56 in Gematria as well. But anyway, so Kobe also announced his retirement after the Pacers game on 11/29 of 2015. It was his 13th game this season. He also scored 13 points. Interesting, the next game that they played was a loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers got their first win of the season against the Lakers on this game. But the very next game was against the Washington Wizards. I mean, pretty strange. Also, just interesting, it was his 13th game. He scored 13 points. And in the game against the Wizards, the score was 88-101, so they even lost by 13 points. I mean, crazy. The 13th prime is even 41. Kobe Bryant, the small weight, equals 41. If you write out 13, it equals 99, just like I talked about with the Warriors and David Lee. Anyway, this game on Easter was also 119 days after Kobe announced his retirement. Interesting, it's all connected to the King James Bible. Like I've said, King James Bible in Gematria equals 56. Also, the big way, 119. So Kobe announces his retirement 119 days before the game that he plays that all ties into Revelation from the King James Bible. I mean, absolutely crazy. Kobe played his 57th game then. It wasn't his 56th. But at 57th game, he's on his farewell tour. Farewell tour equals 57. Also interesting to point out, 119, Star of David equals 119. All Seeing Eye equals 119. 119 equals 194. That sticks out because when the Warriors or the Lakers lost to the 76ers the game after Kobe announced his retirement, the total score was 194. The game was even on 12/1. Revelation equals 121 in Gematria, just like Warriors. It was also 3 months, 27 days. 3 months and 27 days before 327. Also 17 weeks. 17 weeks even sticks out because Kobe Bryant in this game, he scored 17 points. It also just so happened to be 17 days before his last game ever, which will be on April 13th, 4/13. And later on I'm going to mention that it's 18 days, but that's because of the end date. Also because earlier in the season, the announcers in a game screwed me up, and they said that the Lakers' last game was on April 14th and not 13th. So they showed a stat of Kobe shooting 4 of 14 against the Golden State Warriors when they beat them. Kobe was 4 of 14, and then they said that his last game was on April 14th. But the NBA season actually ends on April 13th. So why the announcers said that, I don't know, but they screwed it up. Anyway, though, so it was 17 weeks after his retirement. He scored 17 points, and it's 17 days before what would be possibly his last game ever. He says he's going to play all the games, so. But if you write out the word 17, it equals 109 and 37. Identical gematria to Los Angeles. I mean, what are the odds of that? 327, kind of like March 27, 327 equals 113. Just like Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan also equals 113 in gematria. Kobe Bryant announced his retirement, and then he announced it with this poem that he supposedly wrote called Dear Basketball that has identical gematria to Kobe Bryant. The first game he ever played was even on November 3rd, 11/3, the 113. There was a game before this, but he didn't play in it for whatever the reason. Obviously because his first game had to be to match his gematria. In gematria, Kobe Bryant Farewell Tour equals 269. It was his 57th game. The 57th prime is 269. The first day that Pope Francis was in Philadelphia was September 26th, which is written as 26/9. It's also just so happens to be the 269th day of the year. If you write out September 23rd, super significant. September 23rd equals 269 as well. March 27th was also 26 weeks exactly after Pope Francis's last day in Philadelphia. Also, I just want to point out again that Pope Francis, he gave a speech in Philadelphia using Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address lectern. So once again, just more coding to Abraham Lincoln and the assassination of Obama and whatnot. Tons more to that, but anyway, 26 weeks, Lakers equals 66. The 2 6s. 3 plus 27 plus 20 plus 16, the date numerology of the day that Easter is 66. If you write out in gematria Kobe Bryant's last game, it even equals 66. If you write out the word 66, it equals 41, just like Kobe Bryant the small way. If you write out March 27th, it equals 81, a number that Kobe is just super connected to in his career, 81 and 18s. Kobe's 81-point game that was on 122. like I said, connected to the Golden State Warriors and whatever. He was also 18 of 46 on field goals. He was 18 of 20 on free throws. There was some other 18s. I can't even remember them off the top of my head. But he came into the league when he was 18 years old. Also, I wrote in here, it's 18 days before their final game. It technically sort of is because of if you include the end date, it is 18 days. But like I said, I got told the wrong date by the actual announcers on the Golden State game. Anyway, if you write out the word 81 in Gematria, 81 equals 108, just like Golden State Warriors. Also want to point out that in numerology, you take out the 0. So literally 108 would be an 18. We also had Villanova, who just defeated Kansas the day before. Villanova equals 108. Kansas is just super important because of the Civil War. They were the 34th and last state to join the Union. Before the Civil War began, they joined 34 days before Abraham Lincoln became the president. Tons of other stuff with it. Lincoln, born on the 43rd day of the year, the mirror of 34. He died 4 years and 3 days after the Civil War ended or began. Lots of 34 connections in Gematria as well. Maybe I'll leave a little post or a little note or something on this video. But I mean, Civil War equals 34, murder 34, Lincoln 34, I believe. I can't remember them all. I'll have to re-look them up, but tons of 34. Even in regards to freeing the slaves, Moses from the Bible who freed the slaves, tons of 34 around him as well. 34 and 43, I guess. Well, whatever. Like I said, I'll leave a note. I've also seen the number 34 a lot connected with the 923. We just had the Kansas train derailment, the one that was going to Chicago and whatnot. It just reminds me of the Philadelphia train wreck last year. Kansas and Gematria equals 65, just like Philadelphia. The 76ers, they had lost 34 games so far before they played the Warriors. The Warriors had won 34 home games in a row. The Warriors were going for their 35th home win and also their 53rd home win of the streak. That goes back to last year. The Warriors did lose, so it made their record 9-65. So pretty fitting, 65 connected to Philadelphia. I had a good feeling that they were going to lose, obviously because they're like the worst team in the NBA and the Warriors are the best. So I highly doubt they were going to let the Lakers and the 76ers beat the Warriors. But in regards to the 53rd home win or whatever, there's lots of 53 stuff I've seen with the Warriors. They lost their 53rd game of the year, but a lot of times when something added up to 53, I noticed that they won. They also picked up Anderson Varejao on the 53rd day of the year, who Portland had just dropped, and the Warriors lost to Portland on their 53rd game. Tons of other stuff with that as well. The Warriors got their 66th win that night. Lakers also equals 66. The date numerology was 66. It was also 67 days from the NBA Finals, but also 2 months, 6 days before 6-2. So just interesting, the mirrors. 26-62. The 26th prime is 101, just like Philadelphia the big way. If you write out the word 67, 67 equals 81, the number connected to Kobe Bryant. So then the Warriors also play the Wizards the game after Philadelphia, which is just so happens to be today, or tonight, I guess. But it's interesting because it's on 3/29. 3/29 is the 9/23 backwards. It's normally the 88th day of the year. This year it's the 89th day, which is still super significant. King James equals 89 in Gematria. The 62nd prime number is 293, a lot like the date, 29-3. 6/26 or June 26th is the middle day between 329 and 923, the mirrors. It's 89 days both ways. Queen Elizabeth is 89 years old until March 21st this year, or April 21st this year. Also today, 329 is 65 days before the NBA Finals, just like Philadelphia the small way. Also, Washington, D.C. equals 56 and 65 with the S exception. So super interesting. Supposedly, the King James Bible came out on May 2nd of 1611. So Easter was 36 days before the 405th anniversary. It's still 404 years. If you write out 404 years, it equals 262. Like I'm saying, all these 62s. Also, the small way 109, just like Los Angeles, just like 17. Also, if you go from September 23rd to May 2nd of this year, it's a span of 222 days before the 405th anniversary. 923 was also the 404th year, 144th day anniversary. Both significant numbers to Revelation. There's 404 verses in Revelation. Pope Francis in Jewish gematria equals 404. Prince Charles, who will become the new king if Queen Elizabeth dies, equals 404 in Jewish gematria. There's also the 12 tribes of Israel, 12 times 12, or 12,000, 144,000. 144 is also the number in regards to the size of the New Jerusalem, which coincides with the cube and whatnot. The Comcast Center in Philadelphia has the giant black cube on the top of it. So anyway, at the very end here, I wrote, what does this all mean? And I honestly don't know what it all means. It obviously doesn't mean the Lakers are going to win. But everything that I've talked about keeps syncing together. I talk about Philadelphia and Pope Francis's visit. It just seems like all of these stories and all of these sports are coded to other events. I feel like they're going to assassinate Obama or even Trump, now that I really looked more into that. Maybe it's Pope Francis, I've talked about that, or Queen Elizabeth. The Cavs even beat the Knicks the day before this game. They scored 107 points, a number connected to championship. 107 is also connected to Prince Charles, who would be the next King of England if Queen Elizabeth died. The Cavaliers are followers of King Charles in the English Civil War. King Charles was assassinated. King Charles was the son of King James. LeBron James' name is even King James. Lots of interesting things. So I don't know. Definitely foreshadow a big event, though. It seems like it's connected to Kobe's retirement big time. Kobe retired on a date numerology of 55. He retired after an air ball that equals 55. Retirement equals 55. Tons of other 55 coding. The word Satan equals 55. So just super interesting in regards to all of the coding with the 6s and the 62 and the 666 this year. You even had Dikembe Mutombo. He was at the Belgium attacks. Dikembe Mutombo wore number 55 his whole career. The Lakers defeated Dikembe Mutombo's Philadelphia 76ers in the NBA Finals in 2001. I really don't know. Maybe it will come to me in the future. Maybe I'll figure out what the whole point of it all is. But whatever, I'm going to leave the video at that. And have a good one.